Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for joining us for the new Edward J. Lewis II Lawyers in the Classroom program series. For those of you who aren't aware, the Chicago Bar Association's Edward J. Lewis II Lawyers in the Classroom program has existed for over 30 years. The program, which was originally a part of Constitutional Rights Foundation Chicago, involves me, Tiffany Watson, director of the program and former teacher and administrator, placing attorneys in second through eighth grade social studies, social sciences, and literature classrooms to teach students about the U.S. Constitution, their constitutional rights, our legal system, and their rights and responsibilities under the law. Now, under the auspices of the Chicago Bar Association's 501c3 since 2019, the Lawyers in the Classroom program has continued to flourish. Attorney volunteers are partnered with teachers to provide students with grade level lessons and knowledge based on real life experiences, help them develop their critical thinking skills, and offer young people an opportunity to interact with a variety of positive adult role models. The purpose of this series is for you to learn more about our participants in the Lawyers in the Classroom program, i.e., our attorney volunteers and our teacher partners, while also learning about what they've experienced during the Lawyers in the Classroom visits. Today we are speaking with another teacher partner, Miss Dorlande Charles. Excuse me, Miss Charles. Thank you so much for joining us. Miss Charles has been a part of the Lawyers in the Classroom program for 3 years, and we're just so happy to have her here. She's a seventh and eighth grade teacher at Adam Clayton Powell Academy, and we're just grateful that she's here with us today. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. I'm so happy I'm here.
All right, so just to get things started, what made you decide to be a part of the Lawyers in the Classroom program?
There were quite a few reasons. So, the beginning of my career in Chicago, I was a teacher, a high school teacher. And so, the next following year, I became a seventh and eighth grade social studies teacher, and I had no idea what I was doing. So, I was researching, Googling what type of resources, what kind of assistance that I can use to help me bring to life most of the curriculum that I was putting together. And so, as I was Googling, I saw that CRFC. And so I clicked on the website. They talked about the Constitution. They talked about actually inviting real attorneys, lawyers who still are in practice, and they are guest speakers and help facilitate in teaching the lesson. So I was sold. That really was exciting for me because I did not teach seventh and eighth grade. So I definitely needed a partner in this particular year, my first year.
Awesome. So then, having been a part of the program for now 3 years, and you have transitioned with us from CRFC to the CBA, what do you believe are the benefits of the Lawyers in the Classroom program for both you and your students?
There's quite a few benefits. I would say my very first year, I was introduced to the ABC project. With that
Mhm.
project, my students were able to find an issue within the community in which they would want to solve. And then they had to put their analytical skills by conducting survey, focus groups, interviews, and then figuring out an applicable solution to that particular problem. And so my students took weeks upon working with members of our community, working with administration, working with our school to come up with some really good things to help solve those issues. And then we ended up winning awards. I thought that was kind of cool. And then as we progressed year two and year three, being in my Department of Social Science and Civic Engagement with CPS, they have this inquiry framework of it's the same thing that we did with the ABC project. So now I felt a little bit more knowledgeable. I felt confident. And then my students understood the importance of conducting research. They felt important of being a powerful civic actor within our community. They felt a part of their community, although they might just be seventh and eighth graders. They felt like they had a voice, and that I really loved.
Excellent. Well, I'm so glad that your students really engaged with the ABC project, which I did lead when I was at CRFC. So it was such a great, phenomenal project. And that is one of the projects that really what does connect to the Lawyers in the Classroom program, in that the learning about their constitutional rights helps them to understand how what they might want to change, which is ultimately what they do in the ABC project, which is to identify something in their community that they want to change. And so I'm so glad that you were able to bridge the two and have the students really utilize research skills as well as learn about their rights and responsibilities under the law. So how have your students demonstrated what they've learned? I know that you've shared a lot about the ABC project, but in terms of kind of their constitutional rights, as well as their rights and responsibilities under the law, or anything that you've kind of seen in the classroom or in connection to the lessons.
Yes, so we can begin with seventh grade. Towards the end of seventh grade year, I introduced my students to the Bill of Rights. We talk about this breakup letter, how no taxation without representation, the power of utilizing your voices, right? And so that was the appropriate time to have the lawyers in the classroom really talk about those 10 fundamental Bill of Rights. Although you might be a minor, although you might not be 18 as a legal adult, those laws still apply to you. And so I was able to do a really good activities with the students paired with the lawyers in the classroom to really show them, number one, how to understand what the law is actually saying under the Constitution within the first 10 amendments. Number two, how is it applicable, right? So we came up with different scenarios and simulations of real world experience where it would really impact your life on a day to day. So really direct, easy example for them to digest and understand. Now, my eighth graders, we started the eighth grade civic participate curriculum. And one of the things we love is having to learn how to be a powerful civic actor within your community. And so we had the lawyers come in and discuss multiple ways that you can utilize your voice. Although you cannot vote, you can call your representatives, a different type of elected officials we have on either on a state or local platform, and what are their roles and responsibilities, and how does particular laws can be amended, ratified because of your voice. If you see a key issue that's happening, which law applies to that? Who would you really contact during that time? Would it be your school officials? Would you contact? Would it be an elected official like your alderman or your mayor? And so having the lawyer really bringing it down for us in the most minutia and simplified way, then our students were able to really grasp the information and then apply it as well in the real world. So that was kind of cool.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And that's what they're there for, right? Because they're the legal experts. And so they're able to answer all the questions. And especially using the lessons, they're able to connect to real world issues and actually ask questions that they've been thinking about. I'm sure the kids go through a daily basis of things that they want to ask attorneys because there are so many questions to ask. Just knowing that you've had so many experiences and you've shared so much during our interview today, I'm wondering if you have any favorite experiences or highlights that you want to share with the Lawyers in the Classroom program experience.
Yes, so we did Tinker versus Des Moines, which is one of my favorite activities when you do the first amendment, knowing the differences between being able to have freedom of speech. And so my students were able to come in. We did a simulation together. They acted as if there were the judges, the reporters. Some members were of the Supreme Court, and then some we had on the attorneys of both sides representing the students, and then representing the school board. And so having that lawyer there, they're giving the expertise of coaching the students of how to present information properly, your evidence properly. That was, I want to say, was one of my favorite experience within the Lawyers in the Classroom project, because with Tinker versus Des Moines, it gave my students the confidence of knowing, hey, even in the school building, even in the school environment, those rights still apply to you. Administrators still have to abide to the Constitution as well. And so my students gave them that voice, say, you know what, we could stand up for ourselves. If we see something within our student handbook or our code of conduct that we don't agree with, maybe we should present it to our administrators. Maybe we should get other people involved to get those changed. So having that, little nugget in them and say, you know what, we can become a part of our school community and our South Shore community to promote change. I really love that.
Yes, yes. Yes, to all of that. That's exactly the point. I'm so glad that the students were able to make those connections, because ultimately, what we want to do, besides teaching the students their constitutional rights, their rights and responsibilities under the law, is for them to actually do something, right? For them to do and go out and utilize the knowledge that they have and share it with the world, and also actually apply it to any change that they think that they can make and feel empowered to make. So that's fantastic. Well, I'm just so grateful that you took the time to meet with us today to discuss the Lawyers in the Classroom program. And I'm just grateful that you've been a part of the program now for the last 3 years. And I look forward to working with you next year.
Yes, I am so excited. Can't wait to expand the program even more. I would say final thoughts. Due to the 3 years working with the Lawyers in a Classroom project, I am now launching the Student Voice Committee at Powell Academy. So, per the things that we have learned with you guys in conjunction with the ABC project, now we'll have our students leading their voices, working with administrators to really find some key solutions to some problems that they see within our building, so that moving forth as a collective, we
Mm.
all can be at the decision making table. And so, thank you so much for everything that you guys have done, especially you, Tiffany, holding it down as the director.
Oh, thank you so much. No, thank you for your partnership. And I look forward to working with you next year and expanding with you next year and partnering with you on your new projects. So I look forward to that. And I'm appreciative of everything that you do with your students, especially because that's one thing that I want to point out about you. You have lots of civic knowledge and you work with the students very well. And so us coming into the classroom is just icing on the cake, because you have you have that knowledge, and the students are I'm happy to have you in the classroom, and I've seen that. I've seen how appreciative of you they are. So thank you again for your partnership.
Thank you, ma'am.